So Kai Joma, girlfriend of both Lyrics and Turkey Tom, they share, has just dropped a document on Tom. Now, obviously, one might think... Well, actually, no. I'll say... I think a couple of things have prompted this. Both the girls who are coming out against Tom have pointed to Kai as potentially having information that could corroborate stuff. And obviously, friend of the show, Aiden Project, who we'll be speaking about a little bit more later, came out the other day, came out in more ways than one, and said that basically Kai, or Lyrics had said to him during one of Kai and Lyrics' breakups, that Kai and Lyrics, or Kai and Tom, did age play in the bedroom, okay? According to Lyrics. Now, Lyrics said this, I guess, not considering how this may reflect on him. The Aiden. In the event that he ended up back with Kai. Yes, Lyrics doing that shit too, let's be real, exactly. So, and I will say, obviously, you know, Morale pointed this out, I don't think Aiden just made this up out of nowhere, because I heard about this a while ago. I showed about it from Shelby. Chatter Shelby. I went into one of Aiden's VCs one day, and this was just after the Liam stuff, the recent Loam stuff of his cross-dressing had started happening. I went into one of Aiden's VCs, and they were all talking about how Aiden had pulled Shelby and Dickers out of the public VC to have a private conversation in a separate voice channel about Lyrics. And so I went in there and everyone was like trying to press them for the information. And I started asking. And Shelby gave it to me. And then we lied to Aiden and said Dickers gave it to me. And then, but then we did speak about it afterwards and Aiden knew. So yeah, I had heard about this for quite a while. About this age play idea. So, it does, look. What's like the right way of saying this? From all public information, from everything I can see with my eyes, having heard that at a point where there wasn't this huge benefit to leaking it, or this sudden, like, you know, moral damage that could be inflicted, I find it hard to believe that it's not the case. It strains credulity to me to suggest that Kai is not doing age play, based on what I can see with my eyes and having heard this consistent story. You know? It's possible, but we're already at a point where it just looks that way so heavily. Like, I'm making my boyfriend cross-dress, but I would never, ever pretend to be a little girl. Okay. But hey, I'm kind of spoiling a little bit. Let's take a look. Oh, Kai is literally on her document right now. Look at that. This is high-level A logging. My name is Caitlin/Kai, and I dated Turkey Tom on and off between August 2020 and November 2023, ages 17 to 20/21. Sorry, 1 second. I had to cough. For about 3 years total. Here are a couple of pictures of us together that I don't think I've posted previously. But regardless, you can see we're the same person based on this recent photo of me. This is something I really thought I would never have to respond to. I've spent over 2 years going out of my way to avoid addressing any of the claims made about me or my relationship. I even privated all my social media for a very long time. So, okay. Dude. It just clicked into place. I'm Sherlock Mind Palace right now. You know, fuck it. Liberty. Joma. Oh no. Yeah, I'm like, you know, scrolling around. She's starting a streaming career soon. She said on Lyric's stream she wants to start a streaming career soon. It's all clicked into place. The frame is established. The reader's established. We understand. No, it's not let's get those impressions. It's this is a big drama where my name's being invoked. I have to respond to this. I have to, for my career, say something now. Because there isn't really a crazy reason for her to speak out. She kind of why does she have to speak out now but not before any of the other claims? Because it's already been claimed that Turkey Tom was abusive towards her. That was a big claim, basically, that he was self-harming for sympathy to try and manipulate her back, right? It was already invoked, this idea that Turkey Tom was at least emotionally abusive. So I don't see the material change. That was fake, yeah. But that wasn't widely known for a very long time. I've heard Aiden hint at Kai making advances towards him before. Yeah, he does constantly hint at that. Yeah, he does always. He's literally constantly like, okay. I think I'm like so close. This is almost an instant ban. 2 minutes ago. At Kuihman. Sorry for ping, but Kai aka Tom's ex dropped a doc. Google Doc. I'm a dip in my Discord. Okay. So yeah. Let's go back to this. This is something, so she says, this is something I really thought I would never have to respond to. I spent over 2 years going out of my way to avoid addressing any of the claims made about me in my relationship. I even privated all my social media for a very long time, because I've never wanted to be a spectacle for people to poke at intimate details of my life for their own entertainment. Given the recent events, however, I feel a sense of responsibility to say something. Tom and I had a very mutually toxic relationship, and yes, we both cheated on each other online. This behavior isn't good for either of us, but are private matters that don't in any way deserve to be blasted on the internet by me. And I would never feel the need to point that out to the world by my own choice. Unfortunately, it's been made public against either of our wishes, so I thought I should just acknowledge it. So, but that's been the case for ages, no? What's changed? I guess there's girls saying it, but Lyrics was the one saying it before. But I guess she didn't want to do it because it would hurt Lyrics if she did speak out then, or... I don't... what do you mean she has no choice? I expected her to not say anything. That's what I expected to happen. She does have a choice. Do you mean she has no choice? I fully expected no statement from Kai. Yeah, okay. Now to give my experience with Tom in relation to the serious allegations being made by former partners. There is a lot of information being shared that I find to be extremely unnecessary, with a driving motivator to humiliate him. That's absolutely true. I find this behavior to be abhorrent and will not address any minor anecdote about him that doesn't carry emotional relevance. Okay, well, retarded criteria, but I understand what you're trying to say. I really need to stress that this is just my experience, and he may have acted differently with other girls who he was involved with after me. I'm not undermining anyone's experiences. I don't wish to speculate on their credibility. I'll directly reply to him as a partner overall towards the end. Or at the end. In regards to recording sexual encounters, the few times we did record anything, it was either with explicit permission beforehand, or an established consent based on previous conversations and a long-term relationship. It really wasn't a frequent thing that happened, mostly before we started living together and we were long distance. There are a lot of... Okay. It's written terribly as well. See, this is the thing. I would say get Lyrics to proofread this, but Lyrics is like dyslexic. So there's a lot of stuff we did where I look back and shake my head because my standards for myself have really changed so much since then. But everything was consensual, always consensual between us. There are a few instances where I became uncomfortable with an encounter, and he was understanding it would not continue after I voiced discomfort. I don't think this is an allegation being made about him, but I wanted to stress that nothing in the bedroom that was rough or aggressive ever translated to domestic interactions. There are a lot of negative things to say about Tom, but he was always surprisingly patient and never did anything so much as yell at me. Dude, my throat's killing. I never once felt fearful of him when he was angry the entire time we were in a relationship, which included living together for over 6 months. There's been a message circulating claiming that Tom and I participated in age play, which is just blatant twisting of the truth. Tom definitely romanticizes power dynamics and heavy dom/sub stuff, but that was never expressed through age-related role-playing. See, there is just so much incentive for her to say that she's never done age play. There is so much incentive. If she wants to start a streaming career, there's incentive. For lyrics, there's incentive. It's so tough, man. It's so tough. I would like to see Lyrics and Aiden hash this out. I would like to see what happens if Lyrics and Aiden speak about this. I want to know what that conversation was a few years ago. Because, look, it's possible that, like... Here's something that's possible. Where Aiden... Because I don't assume Aiden's lied as much as he, you know, isn't always the most honest. I think this probably was a conversation that was had because he said it for a while. Here's something that could have happened. Lyrics felt ousted by the Kai drama and the Lolly drama and vindictively twisted the truth to make Tom sound like a pedophile when Kai went back with him. That's something that could have happened and makes sense. Sweep for Aiden. Where's the sweep for Aiden? I just don't assume that to be a lie. Do you assume that to be a lie, Smaggle? Do you think Aiden just made it up? You think there are these two guys, right? This is what you're saying to me, okay? Lyrics and Tom. So Lyrics, who has a long public history with Lolicon. A long public history of engaging with Lolicon. And now cross-dresses in children's clothing. Dates this girl who got him into that. And then there's this other guy who's been accused by numerous girls of being into age play. Or, well, sorry, not quite. There's, I guess, rumor or allegations or the suspect that he's into age play from these girls. And a long history of kind of joking around the edges of age play stuff on his public platforms. Who also dated that same girl. And apparently, there was a conversation with one of these guys and a third party, like years ago, describing this. That conversation was relayed to multiple people throughout the last however many months. And then it comes out now, and that's all just, you know, coincidences. And Aiden just made it up. All the public stuff is coincidences, and Aiden just made it up. I find that hard to believe to me. That's a little bit difficult to believe. I don't want to say that Kai lying here is the most likely thing, man. That feels like a crazy thing to jump to. The thing is, it does just all line up, though, doesn't it? It's like everything that I can see points towards age play. And that every incentive says Kai comes out here and says, I don't do that shit. It could be a game of telephone, that's true. What would the game of telephone be, though? This is what I mean, though. This is what I mean. That's why I lean towards almost Lyrics distorting it. I almost lean towards that. I almost lean towards the idea that Lyrics may have vindictively tried to spin it back on Tom. That possibility rings in my mind. When did Lyrics tell Aiden? Like a couple years ago, a year ago, whenever it was, when she'd broken up with Lyrics and gone back with Tom. Get Aiden on call. Let me message him. Okay, I've messaged him. Let's see if we can get him on. So, where were we up to? Yeah, so. It's clear he has a type for Sanrio mentally ill e-girls. So, I believe Sanrio is the Hello Kitty stuff, right? Yeah. So, I'm sorry, that's what you're already... if that's your type. Whatever, man. But I just can't say from my experience it was ever pedophilic in nature. The person I knew between the years of 2020 to 2023 was not into those things. Anything after that, I wouldn't know. It is true that Tom has a blackmail folder on me, consisting of phone recordings and text messages. I've known about it for a very long time because he told me. Okay, so this is sounding likely. So this idea that Tom does this thing where he'll do like the implication. He'll say, I've got blackmail on Kai. You know, like I do with women. As if to say, don't cross me. This sounds likely. This sounds quite likely. Very Destiny behavior. Very Destiny behavior. We were messy as fuck, okay? I've never had any intentions of speaking about him publicly. I did decide to be evil after one of those times we broke up and tell him I was going to ruin his career because he was ignoring me and I knew it would freak him out. So like, yeah, I get his concern, even though I've clarified a million times I would never do that. Okay. This was extremely shitty of me. So this, dude, like, man, it's just so, it's so hard to trust when you're saying shit like this. Yeah, he's got blackmail on me, and I've begged and desperately clarified to him that I would never ruin his career, and here's me not ruining it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just so sus, bro. It's like, here's the thing, man. You've outed yourselves. All parties have outed themselves too much here. Okay? Tom has spent way too much time on stream talking about diapers, going after Sanrio girls, talking crazy BPD shit, sucking off Destiny, literally and metaphorically, learning from the best. Lyrics has been way too much of a pedophile publicly, and he's fucked around already, leaking stuff. Kai has announced her streaming career, essentially, and fucked around a bunch, literally and metaphorically. And the worst part of all of this, guys, the most damning part of all, is all three of them are massive Death Note fans who you know feel like they are have been locked in like a psychic battle with each other for the last 3 years, 5 years. They cosplay Death Note. They've got Death Note posters in their basements. They're making blackmail folders on each other and being like, don't cross me. And these are adults in their 20s, guys. These are adults in their 20s now. Not teenagers anymore. Kai is like, what? Kai's 4 years from the wall? Let's grow up. Let's grow up. Okay. How old is Kai? 21. Let's grow up, says the man with the VPAT. Look, VPET's, that's different, okay? VPET doesn't hurt anyone. That's just like, a VPET is quaint, you know? A VPET is quaint. It's not evil stuff like playing out weird Death Note psychosexual domination games with your friend group. It's not evil like that. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, so where were we? Without this context, it looks worse than it is. I do not feel at all fearful about him leaking anything private relating to me in response to this because I think I've been very respectful, along with everything being the truth. Overall, Tom as a person is extremely flawed. I'm disappointed to see he is still generally self-centered around sex as an act. Our relationship really fucked me up for a while, and certain things still affect me negatively from it. According to what some have said, it goes both ways. Most of the things that hurt me about our relationship don't have much crossover with what people have said about him, so I feel relieved that I can still maintain some privacy in a sense. We literally met, literally minors. We literally met as minors, and it's still the longest relationship I've been in. You don't date someone for 3+ years if you think you're an irredeemable piece of shit. I've never known him to be a person capable of these things. But everyone who spoke about him has been after we broke up, so I just couldn't know. As sad and angry as he's made me feel, I've never thought him to be heartless or sadistically cruel, just someone who has a lot of issues. All I have is my own experience to use as a guide for what I think is true, but others shouldn't take it as gospel above someone else's testimony. I apologize for my brevity, as I only want to give pointed answers to avoid relaying intimate details about my sex life. See, look, this is the thing, man. All the stressing of, don't take me as more than the others for the abuse stuff. All the stressing of that, all the stressing, just shows it's all about this. This is the centerpiece of the document. Ignore me on everything else. Ignore me on everything else. But I never ever did age play. I never ever did age play. I never ever did age play. It's crazy, man. I apologize for my brevity, as I only want to give pointed answers to avoid relaying into details about my sex life for the next. Don't want to come across like I'm exposing Turkey Tom. I just felt morally inclined to share my experience about certain things. Since people have been wanting to specifically hear what I had to say, I don't think there's any need for a follow-up. I've said everything I wish to comment on. I hope I can just go about my life that is constantly coming up, because we've been broken up for so long now. Wow. Wow. Okay, fuck it. We're just gonna try and call Aiden. Aiden.
What's up?
Have you heard that Kai Joma has dropped a doc on Tom?
Are you kidding me?
No. It says nothing. It seems like the only reason she's put this out is to deny the age play allegations. So what say you?
Well, Lyrics tried to call me about this a few days ago, and I didn't pick up because I was preoccupied.
But I think that should happen on stream. I think that conversation should be...
Yeah, for sure. I think that, when I come back, I'll be back in, like, what? Is it 2 days? Like 2 days or something.
Awesome.
Basically, I'll let him call in. I told you this. At the time I told, no, I didn't tell you this. I told Shelby this.
Yeah.
And I told someone else this. I can't remember. Yeah, and then they told you. But at the time that I did say this, there was no drama to get involved. Do
you want to just relay in the most accurate and full detail possible exactly what Lyrics told you when, like circumstances, context, everything?
So okay, yeah. So I don't have the exact. It would have been around the, I guess, era of my streaming when I had first spoken to you about, like, Evan does things or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It would have been
so
some
like
point around
3 years ago or something, roughly.
Yeah, it was like 2. Yeah, like 2. It doesn't matter. But, like, it was Lyrics at this point. I don't know if he had, basically him and Kai were, like, doing shit together. Obviously, as we know, while he was with Tom. And then basically, at some point, I guess they had broken it off or so. I don't remember. Me and Lyrics were good friends at that point, and we were in a call, and I do not remember why this came up, but I remember at this point, this was when the affair was, like, first, not affair, the cheating and shit was first being publicized, because we had people like Zanny Berries or whatever his name was, and Salvo coming out with all this stuff.
That was when Lyrics leaked to Jalen, and then Jalen leaked to Salvo or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think so. Once again, my memory is, like, very vague on this, like, general time period, so don't take, like, everything, like, completely literally. I might get some general shit wrong, but the overall premise is the same. I'd spoken to Lyrics at this time about the shit with Tom, whatever, and he was telling me, I guess he was mad at Kai at that point in time, or something in that regard. And he had told me in a call, I remember I was just playing Call of Duty, but he had said that, like, Kai likes to, something about her, she likes to pretend to be like a little girl during sex with Tom. Like, that's the shit she's into. And that was, like, that whole conversation, and I've just been, like, sitting on that.
He just said it as an offhanded comment, or did you ask any more about it?
It was not. We were having a conversation about the general subject of him, Tom, and Kai. But I don't remember anything but that anything major about that detail.
Yeah, how young does she pretend to be? Is it like 15, 12, 6?
I remember just, like, the term, like, little, like, girl or kid or something. So I'm assuming.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's younger than that.
Got you. Yeah.
But that's literally, like, that's all I know about it. The only thing, I can't prove it or anything. Obviously, my memory's vague. The only thing that would attest to that is that I was saying this at a time when it wouldn't have had any benefit to me.
Do you think there's any chance that maybe Lyrics was being vindictive and trying to spin back the pedophile allegations against Tom?
Sorry, you cut out. Can you say that one more time?
Do you think there's any chance Lyrics was being vindictive and trying to spin back the pedophile allegations against Tom? What was the tone of that conversation? Was he being like, was it sort of like Hey, can you hear me?
Dude, I don't know if. Hold on. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi. Keep cutting out.
1 minute. Let me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, a bit better.
Okay. So yeah, was Larix like pissed off with Tom at the time? Was he like seething? Was it like a?
Fuck, dude. You know, give me 2
Oh
seconds.
my
I
god.
can hold on. I can't. Wait. I switched to cell. I switched to cellular. You're good now. You're good now.
Okay.
You're good
Okay.
now.
Was
Okay.
Larix like
One more
seething? Was
time.
this like pissed off? Was he like bitching about them? Is that what was happening in this conversation?
If I remember, I don't want to answer that with certainty because I could be up, but that's the vibe that I'm pretty sure was going on. Yes.
Got you. Got you. So do you remember anything else about the conversation? Any other leaks you can give from that conversation?
No, nothing. There's things that there's things that I like vaguely. I feel like I vaguely remember something about like rape play, but like that could have just been like the only thing I'm sure of was the age play stuff. The other shit like might just be like because I've heard it before. I'm now just like merging it with the memory or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you'd know about in this document. Oh yeah, apparently. So Aiden, you always hint about Kai
Yep.
like trying to come
Yep.
onto you when you met her, right? Aiden, don't run.
Dude, why is he cutting it?
He's running. He's running.
I'm not. No, I heard that. I'm not running. I'm in the room with Saul. You can hear. I literally
Okay.
you were cutting out.
you always hint at Kai like making advances towards you. What's all that about?
I didn't. We just had this like really strange interaction. But just are you live?
I'm live. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyways.
You knew I was live, right? Surely.
I probably should. I
messaged you. I messaged you. I said, "Are you free to call about?"
No, it's fine. No, I'm fine. I'm fine saying everything that I said to you live. I wouldn't have said the like rape play shit because I'm not sure. Because I'm not sure of that, and I wouldn't want to start like a rumor off that.
Well,
but
strike the rape play shit from the record. Strike the rape play shit from the record. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not public.
Anything that I'm not certain. Anything that I'm not certain of. I'm just don't use that if I'm not certain. Because once again, this is memory from years ago. But yeah, there's nothing else that damning. What was the last thing we were just talking about?
I can't remember. What was, oh yeah, Kai coming on to you. Kai making advances towards you. That was it.
Yeah. There was something that I interpreted as like a bit strange, but I kind of saw it being that way with like everyone. It was like Tom went upstairs and then she's like, look at like my eyes or whatever. And she's like, you have the darkest eyes I've ever seen. Like, it's so cool. I felt like a little strange, but I wasn't, because he was like upstairs or whatever. But like, I guess that's just like how she is. She was like announcing to like a room of like or it was like a car full of people that she had like BPD and stuff, and I was like, dude.
What about
Good
these?
luck to this guy.
There's rumors swirling of Turkey Tom having a cocaine addiction. Do you think there's any weight to that, Aiden?
I've seen him do. Listen, or I haven't seen him actually do the coke. I've seen him come off from coke. But like other people were trying coke. I've seen no evidence of an addiction. I just know that he's like dabbled in it or tried it occasionally.
Wow. Terrible stuff.
Yeah.
Really terrible stuff.
True. Egregious.
You shouldn't be doing that. Terrible stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't like. I'm curious. Like, I haven't seen anything. Once again, I'm gonna sit through and properly look through this. But is there anything like? I guess that because all this shit, like all this shit sounds just incredibly like embarrassing and weird.
Yeah, that's most of it.
But like, yeah, is that it? It's just like embarrassing and weird.
Yeah, it's just the big question is about the age play stuff right now because everyone has decided that age play is their red line for association with Tom for some reason. So all the discussion is he an age player?
Like, don't get me wrong. I think age play is like disgusting and pedophilic adjacent too, but that's not really like if it's happening between two consenting adults, in a private bedroom. Like
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't know if
retarded
I
line to draw,
care.
especially for a friend you've had for like a decade. It's like totally retarded, and it's clearly just because they've worked themselves into stupid positions about, you know, age play and lolly and whatever the fuck. So they have to save face.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, have a good stream. Take
All right,
care.
catch you later. Wow, we managed to make that Kai Joma segment absolutely worth it. That is a great segue. Can I just say? I just like to state that was a great segue.